Hey guys, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW video with our WWE save, Wyatt in 2021. This month's pay-per-view for the Raw brand is Battleground. We're just 1 month away from SummerSlam and hopefully what can be a blockbuster pay-per-view from both Raw and SmackDown. But we've got to get the hype started, we've got to put the storylines in motion, and hopefully we can build up to some big matches at the apparent biggest party of the summer. So for this one, we've probably integrated a few feuds together. I will end a lot of feuds here because I do want some to start off post this event, heading into SummerSlam. But we're hoping, this particular show shows the importance we've got on our championships and kind of hopefully start the breakthrough of some guys who are going to make it probably to their last push for the company, and in some other cases, leaving the company. But we'll see as the show goes on. So we've got not a sold out unfortunately, but close. Can I take it as a sold out? 58,679 fans at the Edward Jones Dome in St. Louis, Missouri. We're hyping up our main event for the WWE Championship. Combining two feuds together, I felt like it was a good opportunity to give Kenny Omega a chance in the spotlight. So it is going to be Daniel Bryan, Bray Wyatt, Kenny Omega, Ibushi, Fatal 4-Way for the WWE Championship. IRL? I think that'd be pretty damn exceptional, but we'll see here. Kenny needs that break to try and get into the main event scene because he seems to be over miscapped, and I'm hoping that's not the case. We'll keep pushing as much as we can. Ibushi's just been fantastic for us. But overall, hype video to start the show, pyrotechnics, and the crowd off to a strong start. They're hot. Segments improved with this, so hopefully setting the standard for a good event. So we start the show. It was about that had good heat and decent wrestling. It was Andrade Cien Almas defeating John Cena in 11:58 with a split-legged corkscrew senton following interference from his manager Zelina Vega. Now this was a B80. This storyline's basically been based off a bit of disrespect backstage, where obviously John Cena, 17-time champion in game, greatest superstar of all time. This up-and-comer Andrade Cien Almas. He's beat Randy Orton before. Now he seems to want to take advantage of a decline in John Cena. In this case, John Cena was visibly tiring towards the end of the match. He only had a 67 performance to Andreas Cien Almas' 87. So you can see where both gentlemen are in their terms of their careers, and the storyline advances with this segment. Cien Almas improving performance skills. Few negatives there, mostly for John Cena. This leads to a promo after the match, after Cien Almas has left, and John Cena in this B+88 segment has said next month at SummerSlam he's sick and tired of these youngsters going through. He's sick and tired of Andrade Cien Almas, and he wants to put his career on the line. If he can't win, he doesn't deserve to be in the WWE anymore. So it's going to be career on the line, John Cena versus Andrade Cien Almas at SummerSlam. So good start to the show, gets the crowd hotter again, and a B+88. Could we see the end of John Cena? Or is it swerve? Find out. Next up we had a tag team championship match, the World Tag Titles. It was TM61 who got the opportunity in this decent wrestling match. They didn't have a lot of heat, and it saw the Coffey brothers, Mark and Joe, pick up the win in 12:09 with Mark Coffey defeating Nick Miller with the Crowning Glory. They make their fourth title defence, again solidifying themselves as one of the best tag teams in the world. Good B81s, not too bad there. What I like from Mark and Joe is with their in-ring performance, coupled with their decent popularity, they might be able to break to singles competition eventually, which is good. I'm not going to do it anytime soon, but possibly 2022 we could see the breakout of both of these fantastic superstars, of course, in the WWE UK division in real life. But overall, good match, does the job. Next up, ending a feud again, it is a decent matchup that saw EC3 defeat Big E in 9:32 with the Sweet Meat Sizzler, the B78. Better in terms of in-ring performance for Big E. Of course, EC3 is going to be a quick push because the declining physical ability is a pain in the ass. Big E, I need to see what I want to do with him, if I'm being perfectly honest. I feel his issue is I need to keep him away from Xavier and Kofi. So I just feel like the New Day have done to death in here. So maybe another push for Big E in the future. But as what it is, it puts EC3 over in our storytelling match of the evening. And after the matchup, EC3 says that's Big E out of his mirrors, no more, bye bye, cheery bye. He's moving forward and he wants to win some championship gold. So A91 promo for EC3. Next up, we decided to have a battle royale to determine the #1 contender for the European Championship. We'll get a matchup right after. It was a decent matchup that saw Apollo Crews with a win in 11:55. Other members of the Final Four were Aleister Black, Jason Jordan and Shane Strickland, with Aleister Black being the final elimination. Apollo also got the most eliminations. Other guys to feature in the match: Aiden English, Elias, Jeff Hardy, Marty Scurll, Rocky Romero, and Will Ospreay. So overall, some guys there that maybe should get a push, but we haven't had anything for them. A few skill improvements, which is good to see. A B-74, as I say. Still not the greatest in Battle Royales, but it serves its purpose well. This led to Tommaso Ciampa coming out and attacking Apollo Crews, beating him down before the bell went, because that bald bastard has to get ahead of everyone else. And, yeah, sets us up straight in a matchup, which is, of course, Tommaso versus Apollo. This was a good wrestling match with a decent reaction from the crowd, and Tommaso defends the championship, winning in 11:55 with Project Ciampa, making his 5th European title defence. Now, he's an interesting one. I can see their performance rating of 92. There's got to be a stage where we go, right, main event time, and I think it's getting closer and closer. But it continues to improve the prestige of the European Championship, and yeah, a good win there. Just like giving people these kind of championship runs as well, because in terms of getting to the Hall of Fame and Hall of the Immortal, because you've got a limited amount of champions, especially if I'm going to have a long World Heavyweight Championship or WWE Championship run, there's a lot of guys that probably deserve to be there. If we can get them there with some title runs, it's always a good thing. But good things ahead for Psycho Killer. Next up, we've got a promo from Jey Uso hyping up his match, not just with Samoa Joe, but with the other competitors in tonight's 6-man IC title match. B+88. Obviously, we know the feud between Jey and Samoa Joe. I felt like combining a few feuds here again, because similar to WWE in real life, I kind of want to make the IC title feel as important as possible. And we've got a lot of talented superstars that's not in the WWE title picture, because that's pretty much planned out for the next few months. So I felt if we get a lot of big stars in this, then hopefully we can really deliver. So a B+88 for Jey Uso's promo, that match, co-main event tonight. Next up, we had a decent matchup that saw Bo Dallas pick up the win over Noam Dar in 10 minutes and 6 with a spear. B81, not really a storyline, just really want to put these two guys in pay-per-view. Bo Dallas is someone, as I say, that's kind of faltered since he lost his WWE Championship to Fergal Devitt. Noam Dar is someone I think we do need to start strapping a rocket to, and hopefully a push in the future, but we need to keep Bo. He's a priority at the moment, so he gets to win in a decent match. We then have a promo from CJ Robinson, basically frustrations over his partner Switchblade turning his back on him. D42 did cool the crowd a little, so we're going to have to try and get them back. But I just felt it wouldn't make sense to have the promo done by Switchblade, because he's someone, that would be cool, calm, collected, not wanting to say too much. Match itself was okay, decent wrestling, not a lot of heat. Switchblade wins in 8:54 with a missile kick. B-74 is good. Switchblade obviously have the better performance here. Now, it's not a storyline just purely on the basis of it was a very quick program. Disappointing, that. They could have done a bit better. We'll probably need to switch Jay's gimmick. But overall, yeah, pretty happy with that. It does its job for where it is on card. Then get a promo with a Miz as he hypes up his match with Chad Gable. He says it's time and time again, that everything's like, oh, you don't deserve to be here, blah blah blah. Let the real wrestlers come through. Well, here's Chad Gable's opportunity. He's a real wrestler. Can he show that he can hang with the Miz? Let's find out. B plus 87. Angle. Got the crowd hotter. Hopefully we'll see an end to that storyline as well. The match. Not very good at all. B81. Both men off their game. They were given a great opportunity here. It was a decent match-up. The Miz picks up the win on Gable in a 30-minute Iron Man match, properly playing it in the hands of Chad Gable. He wins by 2 falls to 1. Both guys off their game, which results in poorer performances. The storyline did advance, lost heat, but then was ended, because I always planned to finish that feud here. I think, we're looking at probably a high B plus there, but the two guys being off their game certainly doesn't help that. But Miz, going forward, a bit of momentum. Chad Gable back to the drawing board. Have we seen the last of the Miz? Wonder. Next up, Drew McIntyre cuts a promo hyping his upcoming match with Seth Rollins. Obviously, he's IC champ, and he's saying William Regal can stack the odds against me. He can put Seth in here, Jey Uso. He can put in as well Samoa Joe. He can put in Okada. He can put in Dean Ambrose. I'm still walking out here as IC champion and showing how important this championship really is. So let's see how this does. I'm quite happy with that A90. A match itself, I'm quite happy with that, an A93. So it was about that had great wrestling and good heat, and Drew picks up the win, defending his championship over Seth Okada, Jey Uso, Dean Ambrose and Samoa Joe in 31-23 when they defeated Jey Uso with the Future Shock DDT. First title defence, so up against it from the start, getting us a good victory there. A lot of good performances, the weakest being Jey Uso at 89. So it shows we've got a lot of guys that are over on Raw that are not in our main title picture. A couple of skill improvements. Overall, very happy. Next up, main event. Start off with Bray Wyatt making an over-the-top appearance to the ring. Crowd goes wild, fireflies, etc. for our A92 segment. How will the match do? Brilliant. I was actually a bit worried because of the likes of Kenny is not quite where I want him to be. But it's about that had great wrestling and good heat, with Daniel Bryan defeating Ibushi, Omega and Wyatt in 21-39 when Daniel Bryan defeated Bray Wyatt by pinfall, making his 4th championship defence. The storyline advances in both segments. The likelihood we'll have the blow-off match between Ibushi and Omega at SummerSlam. That makes perfect sense. It's a massive feud that deserves that kind of spotlight. Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan is over. So Ibushi is improving in performance skills. So what does this leave next for Daniel Bryan? He gets the shit kicked out of him by The Miz. Yes, I wanted to do this for absolutely ages. The main event at SummerSlam, I'm breaking it in this video. Well, likely main event and maybe the SmackDown pay-per-view, but the WWE Championship matchup will be Daniel Bryan defending the WWE Championship against The Miz. Finally getting to do it. I hope they do something similar in real life with Daniel and The Miz. But yeah, I really wanted to get this match done, and I feel like it's a good opportunity. The Miz deserves it. He's been outcasted for quite a while. A couple of big profile victories. I don't think he's ever had a WWE Championship run with me. But yeah, he gets the win anyway. No specific comments to make about the show. An A92 doesn't increase pop because of how over the company is, which is crazy. But yeah, we need to keep delivering. And I think again the guys, and well, I say the guys here, certainly guys, because I know girls on the show, certainly delivered. So we'll go Dean Ambrose, we'll go Daniel Bryan, and I'll go Kenny Omega. As always, just praising people. I don't like saying to them, rip people apart. I just don't feel that gets anywhere. So overall, successful show, I'd say. No title changes, as I say. A lot of times we'll mostly make title changes at the big 4 or big 5 pay-per-views. Obviously, sometimes I can sway that, when you least expect it. But overall, that's what we needed to do at that particular show. So we'll look here. Nope. Tommy Dreamer's been hurt badly. Colin Cassidy's got a feud in Ring of Honor against Angelico. So let's have a look. A 4.61 pay-per-view buy rate. That's not too bad. And John Cena likes what Switchblade is doing. So the few other things we'll tidy up in this particular episode. You can see financially, wow, we've nearly got $1 billion. I nearly got $1 billion in the bank. We'll get there eventually. So that's crazy. But one thing I wanted to check was, of course, The Miz. So just look at what The Miz has done in our particular series. He's 40 now, so he'll probably get declining physical ability soon. So with ourselves especially, you can see there, he's had 2 US title runs, one that ended in March and one he had back in 2017, giving him the Mixed Match Challenge as well, and that's pretty much it. So he's not had a lot to work with. He's always constantly been in the top 100 workers in my save since I've had them come through. And he's 35% in the way to becoming a Hall of Immortals inductee, so hopefully we can get him into that, because his career certainly would entail something like that. Well, in here, we'll just quickly fix Switchblade if I can find him. There we go. So he's obviously needing to change his gimmick as well. I need to give him a heal gimmick. Always going roughly about 12-20%. Oh, there we go. Backstabber. He stabbed his partner on the back, so that's perfect. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this episode. As I say, we're in a good position, financially fine. Company's in a really good position size-wise. Also, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The actual reality is the Northwest is just over, but good position regardless. Yeah, we're really just heading towards the Bash next week. That'll be next episode, and then after that SummerSlam. I'm still trying to figure out. It's really a case of when to fit in the special editions. Like I do want to do like a UK only show, like a one-off on the network. Let's just try to see when I can exactly fit them in. It'll be something like a B episode, so like it'll just be like a B TV show instead of a current event where we can lose pop. So it might just be like UK wrestlers. We'll see. As I say, there's still the likes of all our tournaments to take place. Forget, we got all the NXT events, so that's pretty much, they've all landed there. But with all these events to come up in the future, the stable tournament as well, stable war I should say, so a lot of things coming in the future. It's just when can we fit them in the schedule. But just watching, much appreciated, and hopefully you'll join us next week for what should be a good episode of the Bash. Of course, Kevin Owens will have his first defence of the World Heavyweight Championship on at Roman Reigns 3 SmackDown. So just watching. Any comments are deeply appreciated, whether it be my series, wrestling in general, your own series. Let us know how you're getting on in the wonderful world of TEW. As always, likes, subscriptions, all that jazz, deeply appreciated. But take it easy. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.